Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the man who would become Pope Francis, was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, in 1936. His upbringing was humble. He was the son of Italian immigrants. Bergoglio's path to the priesthood was not immediate. He worked as a chemist and nightclub bouncer before entering the seminary. He was ordained as a Jesuit priest in 1969. Bergoglio rose through the ranks of the Jesuit order. He became the Archbishop of Buenos Aires in 1998. He was known for his simple lifestyle. He lived in a modest apartment and often took public transportation. He was also known for his commitment to social justice. He spoke out against poverty and inequality. In 2013, Bergoglio was elected Pope. He took the name Francis, after Saint Francis of Assisi. This choice was significant. It signaled his commitment to humility and service to the poor. The election of Pope Francis was a watershed moment for the Catholic Church. He was the first pope from the Americas and the first Jesuit pope. His election brought a sense of hope and renewal to the Church. Pope Francis wasted no time in making his mark on the Church. He emphasized mercy and compassion. He called for a more inclusive church, one that welcomed people from all walks of life. He initiated a number of significant reforms. One of the most notable reforms was his emphasis on synodality. This involved listening to the voices of all members of the Church, including them in decision-making processes. This was a significant departure from the more top-down approach of previous papacies. Pope Francis also made significant changes in the Vatican. He simplified the Church's bureaucracy and promoted greater transparency and accountability. He also spoke out against clericalism, seeing it as a form of spiritual elitism that alienated the faithful. These reforms were not without their critics. Some traditionalists within the Church resisted change, seeing Pope Francis's reforms as a threat to Church doctrine. However, Pope Francis remained steadfast in his commitment to renewal and reform. Pope Francis's papacy was marked by a number of challenges. He faced the ongoing sexual abuse crisis within the Church and took steps to address this issue. He established a commission to protect minors and held bishops accountable for their handling of abuse cases. Another challenge was the rise of populism and nationalism around the world. Pope Francis spoke out against these trends, seeing them as threats to human dignity and solidarity. He called for a more just and compassionate world. The COVID-19 pandemic presented another significant challenge. Pope Francis offered messages of hope and consolation to a world grappling with fear and uncertainty. He also urged people to care for the most vulnerable, seeing them as particularly affected by the pandemic. Throughout these challenges, Pope Francis remained a beacon of hope and compassion. He inspired millions of people around the world with his message of love, mercy, and social justice. Pope Francis's death on April 21, 2025, marked the end of an era for the Catholic Church. His papacy left an enduring legacy of humility, compassion, and reform. His death has left a void in the Church and in the world. The process of selecting a new pope is underway. Cardinals from around the world have gathered in Rome. They will meet in a conclave to elect the next leader of the Catholic Church. The conclave is a time of intense prayer and discernment. The cardinals will consider the challenges facing the Church and choose a man they believe is best suited to lead the Church into the future. The outcome of the conclave is uncertain. There are a number of potential candidates, each bringing their own strengths and weaknesses to the table. Some cardinals may favor a more traditional candidate, seeking to consolidate Pope Francis's reforms. Others may prefer a more progressive leader, wanting to continue on the path of reform. The future direction of the Catholic Church remains to be seen. However, one thing is certain: Pope Francis's legacy of humility, compassion, and reform will continue to shape the Church for years to come.